couple days. That was 4 days ago, 5 days ago, maybe.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know where our dog went.
What happened to Gwen?
I don't know. She just sent a message that somebody showed up unexpectedly.
Ooh. Yeah, I was working yesterday and Rosie's ex-boyfriend showed us unexpectedly to tell me thank you for introducing me to Rosie and that he loves me and loves us. And I told him, I love you too. If you need anything. Yeah. And then he left and I told him, behave. Anyway, I'm so glad that he is out of their lives. It's like a big sigh of relief.
Well, maybe he's coming around.
Well, maybe he is, you know. He did say that he came to Jesus in jail, but a lot of them do that. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it lasts. He does look good, so I'm gonna go take care of my dog because she's a troublemaker.
She needs a whipping.
Oh, well, if she wasn't so old, I'd give her a whipping. She's making troubles with everybody because she's coming into heat. And okay, I'll be back.
All right. All right. So, interesting study this week. We started out in Leviticus 26. Did anybody make any notes out of that?
Yeah.
Did you get a couple?
Yep.
One or two?
A couple. I got that whole chapter highlighted.
Right.
That. Well, talk to me.
Well, mine's down. One sec.
I have something. It says, if you
Mine's
keep my
25.
commandments, I will do this. If you do this, I will do this. But if you don't do this, I'm going to do this.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty straightforward, huh?
That entire thing just made me think about the affairs of the world today. And
Yeah.
a lot of it is when I go out and just seeing the state of affairs in the general public, I get quite frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a part of that, you know, there's a vast majority of people that profess Jesus and say that they believe every word of the Bible. But then we get to, you know, different worldly issues and that whole Bible that they've confessed that they believe in, they just kind of throw pieces of it away. The matters of faith. It just hurts.
Sorry. It's kind of like the people screaming about how they believe in the sanctity of marriage and they're on their third or fourth divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what stood out to me was 25. It says, and I will bring a sword upon you that shall avenge and quarrel of my covenant. And when ye are gathered together within your cities, I will send the pestilence among you, and you shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy.
Wow. That's poignant for today.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And then and then the next thing, you see what the next thing says? And when I have broken the staff of your bread, 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven, and they shall deliver you your bread again by weight, and you shall eat it and not be satisfied.
Yep. When I was reading that, I thought about how with the food-like products that most of us eat today, they say that is the reason for obesity is because the nutritional value is so minimal that you scarf all these empty calories, but you're not getting any nutrition. So you scarf more empty calories and get no nutrition. And that's exactly what that sounds like to me right there, right? You shall eat and not be satisfied.
Interesting.
And 29, and you shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat. Like, oh.
Oh, yeah. And what are they using in
Well, there's that flesh restaurant over there in California.
What?
They serve human flesh in that. There's a restaurant in California that serves human flesh.
Well,
I
thank
got a
God
guy.
for living.
I got a guy at work that talks about he'd try it. It's like, wow.
He said he tried it, or he wants to try it.
He would. He's like, why not?
I don't know. I was a while back. Amazing Polly did an expose on a corporation that can take any tissue sample and grow that tissue from that tissue sample. And part of their advertising in the literature was, imagine being able to eat some of your favorite celebrity.
So gross.
Yeah, it was. You got to be kidding me, man.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. JJ though just said Simonex. It's like, well, they are. There is a lot of companies that are already putting it in everyone's food. So.
Yep. Food enhancers, flavor enhancers. It's disgusting.
It is. Okay, let's get off that. Yeah. Cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols in verse 30. I mean, the idols would be covered up today. Just interesting.
Which verse?
30. I will destroy your high places and cut down your images and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols, and my soul shall abhor you.
I thought that was interesting too. That kind of stood out to me. The carcass of your idols.
Yeah, so it's clearly a carcass, a person, or an animal. Makes me think of like American Idol.
But,
Everyone's idolizing these people.
I didn't make that connection, but because it totally makes sense of the of a idol being a person, like somebody from Hollywood or something like that, right? But I know that the actual idols made out of wood or stone, they don't move, they don't speak, there's no life in them. But I was just thinking of it, the way that it was written. It made me think of the death of that belief in that non-living thing. Like it's just death.
Very interesting. And then even though through all of this, upon all of this, right? All this rejection, all of this, he said, I will remember my covenant. In verse 44, and yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them, to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them, for I am the Lord their God. And when I was reading that, it just reminded me, he repaired the covenant at the cross. He took on the price for the adulterous bride to restore everybody to him.
Well, yeah, but first you got to humble your heart and accept the punishment for your sin. Then he will remember his covenant. It's like, if you do this, then I will do this again.
Yep. Yeah, he's always allowed for that repentance
Yep.
and turning from it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gave us a cross and the bloodshed. Oh, it's so awesome. Whew.
These are the statutes and judgments and the laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel on the Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. And then let's go to chapter 27, which this I found, I just generally over the whole chapter, the priests now are also estimators, right? Appraisers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So anything that doesn't have that set value, take it to the priest. So what do we have now? We have, they're the priest, they're the sacrificers, they're the judges, right? To determine between people what was right and what was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They're the doctors, they're the home inspectors. And now we have their appraisers of everything.
Huh.
Quite the job.
No wonder he said, you're going to support these people living among you, because they got not a minute's rest. It's like the mom of Israel, right? Mom.
No.
Priest. Wait, I went to that concert. Okay, never mind. H&G, homies. It's plural, homies. Okay, anyways.
I meant that.
So he just gives them an outline of like ages, male, female,
Their value as a person.
15 shekels. Oh, sorry.
The age thing, though.
Okay, how much am I worth?
No, what? What?
I want to know how much I'm worth.
The age thing
Okay, I
really
see.
made me think about the protection of innocence. Because it's up to 20 years old, and not that people didn't marry or try to start their own families, but I guess because of the span from the childhood to 20, it just made me think of protecting the innocence of youth, maybe a little bit more than what we do today, when in schools they plant seeds of having to make choices in children's head that they just shouldn't even have to think about that.
Yep.
Yeah, they weren't considered adults until they were 20.
Unless they were a Levite.
Right. Then you got to get to work. Even the children probably had to work
No, man.
in the Levite.
All right, let's go to Numbers. Let's go to Numbers 1. Who read that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's not here.
Oh, she's not here. Okay. Anyways, I'm telling y'all, this is a connection. There's a connection between this and counting the number of the beast.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There is. And in verse 3, from 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel, thou and Aaron shall number them by their armies. And we see that parallel now, right? When you turn 18, all males have to register with the selective service. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Postcard, they even send it to you. Hey, we're keeping track. It's time for you to go register.
Mm-hmm.
Now, each family is an army, right? Because they name the princes first, and they're the princes over the thousands. So each tribe is an army unto itself, kind of like how they split up the U.S. military, right? So the 1st Army, 3rd Army, 4th Army.
2nd Battalion, 3rd Platoon. That's the
Right.
One. Yep.
Yep. Numbers of what? Captains over thousands and hundreds and 50s and 10s or something like that. Counties or countries? Mandatory. I'll wait for you to redo that one.
Israel.
Oh, Israel does, yeah.
Even if you don't even live there, if you're,
You mean if you're not a citizen?
well, it's like, I'm not sure if, because they've got some weird loopholes with people trying to, they're just able to get citizenship if they can prove that they're born a Jew.
All right.
But they have a requirement that even someone like say someone's born in America but they have dual citizenship, they're still required to go over there and serve in the military for 2 years, I think.
Something like that.
Where?
Israel.
Yeah.
You in Israel? Kind of funny how that is.
Even women have to serve.
Yeah. Yep, regardless.
Did you get an Uzi?
I'd rather have the Galil. The Galil. Actually, even though they came up with their indigenous rifle and weapons programs, they use all the stuff that the U.S. gives them.
Why not?
Why waste the stuff you paid for when you can use the stuff you got for free?
Right.
So, I think that's real interesting. Nothing else really jumps out at me on that. And then when we get to chapter 2, well, actually at the end of this, right, the Levites are appointed over the tabernacle, testimony, all the vessels. So they're the ones camped right around the tabernacle. Yeah.
And no one else is allowed to go close, right?
Yep. Any stranger that approaches, they put them to death. Now, I believe that would be translated now as a foreigner, right? Any non-Israelite. But I guess it could be any non-Levite too.
Yeah. So clarity.
Now, if they had stuck to that, would the temple have ever been captured, like in Maccabees?
Right.
I don't think, because the way that I was reading, there was so much more than just a weapon, but the way that they're required to protect different things, I think there was something to like I don't know. There's I don't want to say power from it, not like a relic. I don't know. There was different parts I was reading that it seemed to fit that there was the Father's power like resting in that, and them having to protect it, and gave them a military advantage, I guess I would say.
Right. That, and if you look back to when they're going through all the laws for the Levites that serve, are to keep their beard shorn, right? So not shaved, and their head too. And that's a warrior's haircut. right there. You don't have a big beard to grab a hold of as a handle. You don't have hair to use as a handle, as a grasping point to run someone through. We showed that too, Sabbath. You just need to watch more episodes.
It's in the back of my really old Bible.
Right.
When I saw that, I went, oh, wow. But I didn't know it was all laid out in here in Leviticus on how they were to move and who goes first and etc.
Yep, when they're traveling. It's also real interesting too, because as they're laid out, as they're encamped, right? And you have the tabernacle in the center. That any direction they're attacked from, the whole congregation can just go.
Yep.
And the tabernacle stays right there in the middle.
Or close in.
Pretty cool.
Or close in. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to call out Sabbath here again because she's requesting it. So, hi, Sabbath here. I think so, Alvina. And maybe not from there directly, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
It may not be where the whole world got it, but it makes sense.
Yeah. Looks pretty sharp too. I need a haircut.
You got your man hairnet on right now.
Grow out a mullet.
Yeah. Put it back. Put it back on. No.
Flatten.
Okay, it looks very Roman. All right, I'm just messing with you. Okay. Something towards the end of that, actually, and it's repeated again in 52 of chapter 1, right? Each house, each family, each man camps by their own standard. And then in verse 2 of chapter 2, every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by his own standard with the ensign of their father's house. So you have you literally have a double standard there. You have the flag for the tribe you're in, the house of your fathers, and then you have what would be considered your crest. So that would be a part of coming into your own, part of your becoming as a man and starting your own family. You incorporate elements of your father's crest and your tribe's crest and make your own. And they're real interesting. You can trace these. They're real fun to look at if you look at all the Scottish and Irish clans. If you've researched that.
Then they get into dragons and unicorns.
It's real interesting because you got all the clans, the families. You got all the families, the Macs and the O's.
I'm an O.
They're all connected, but then you'll get another name. For example, one that comes to mind is Dunn. That they aren't a clan to themselves, but they're attached to another clan. So like they swore fealty or allegiance to McDonald.
Oh, Mackie.
And then you got
the English have them too.
right. I mean, it's common. I mean, look all throughout all Europe, you got all that stuff.
So they would have their whoever they pledged allegiance to, and then that would be integrated into their seal, and then,
Right.
their family, and then them or whatever. Yeah,
Right.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's very fascinating.
Right. And then talking about the ensign, because you have your colors, right? Your flag. That That was the wind. Okay. Anyways, the kilts, certain colors go to certain families, and then certain patterns of how they weave that tartan determine which portion of that clan you belong to. So just at a glance, you can say, that person's with McDonald. They're from the clan McDonald.
Thereby, you would recognize your friends and your enemies really quickly.
Yeah. And be incorporated into the clothes maybe as well, like the same stitch pattern. Yeah.
That could be. Excuse me.
Well, Abba did give them specific instructions on like the hems of the priests of things and how,
right.
how, how he embroidered like at the hem, and then they had a pomegranate, and then something and a pomegranate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, what I'm thinking though is like just your regular, maybe not the Levite, but the culture of having a banner and representing your tribe. You would probably, more likely than not, want some of the same stitch patterns in just your everyday dress, because it's, this is what I represent. And so I'm guessing here, but I just think that makes sense.
That does make sense.
You can't get away with stealing that way either.
Now, something else, I think it was in this one. It might have been, no, it's later on. So, anything else out of number 2? Numbers, chapter 2? Right, we get down to the bottom and it says not to number the Levites. Again, it says not to number the Levites among the children of Israel, because they are the Lord. Yep, the fire of Yah. That is correct. Oh!
That dog is really being weird.
Yeah, Chop's whining too. He's finally laid down. I think he just wants to go outside.
Well, I don't think she can hear anything anymore.
Yes, each tribe had their own stitching pattern for their cloak, for their overgarment. All right, let's go to chapter 3. Chapter 3. No, I don't have anything until verse 12. If anybody has something before that. Got Nadab and Abihu offering strange fire.
Nope, that's what I have too. The firstborn.
So after all we went through earlier, where they're told the firstborn of this, firstborn of that, everything, this is going to be mine, this is going to be mine, this is going to be mine. Now, is he saying, instead of them giving all their firstborn to me, I'm just going to take the Levites? That's what it sounds like it's saying to me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They also seem to be sort of like the special forces of the whole group. Because they're charged to keep guard over not only Aaron, but over the whole congregation before the tent of meeting. well, as they minister at the tabernacle, but they got to guard all the stuff. They do, like you were saying earlier, all the different stuff that they have to do. A lot of responsibility.
Right, and I can see him setting up the priestly order, and what did I write? He appoints the priestly duties and order. I could just see him setting it up here in the physical. Like there's one in heaven, there's a priestly order, and so everybody would have a job to do, and they would do it probably once a year. Some of them would probably do once a month or whatever, and every single person in those families would take a turn in doing their whatever they were directed to do.
Right.
That's why when you see all these people and you're like 7,500, okay, that's a lot of people. But that's also a lot of stuff that they had to do. They had to tear that tent down and all that stuff and pack up all that stuff. And everybody was assigned their one particular job to one family. And each person did something, all the little moving parts. I find it fascinating. I want more information.
Right. In that, now weren't the Levites also the ones that went forth after they made the golden calf and slew the 3,000?
Yes.
Now, Levi was also the one, he was the one that went and avenged his sister Dinah too, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of them.
And Simeon.
Yeah.
Yes, men only, 20 years and up.
Why do you think he chose, and maybe I'm jumping
Go ahead.
further into the chapter, but why do you think he chose the to Kohath belong the clan of the Amorites, the Israelites, and the Hebronites to do the ark itself? It may be because of seeing a lot of imagery from Indiana Jones or other stuff. We've kind of been a little indoctrinated about just the ark, and I'm thinking of all these images of all the times that it's just focused on the ark, but it does. It is important. The ark is set up in the tent and all that. I just wonder why he chose them specifically for. I guess somebody had to do it. It's all important, but why did he choose them for the vessel itself?
I don't know. Because as we continue on, we're going to see that certain families, they're responsible for just carrying the tent itself, and some are responsible for carrying just the poles.
Right.
It's like that. Remember that what we went through these staves. They're what? They're 20 cubits long or something, right? So 30-foot boards.
Yeah, you would have to have several people schlepping those things.
Yeah, there's some work there, some labor.
That would be heavy too. You wouldn't be able to,
It's a long walk.
Something else about the Levites too. If we look historically at cultures that are very bellicose, very warlike, that they train them from their youth to start, learning how to work with weapons of war and how to fight. So it makes sense. Keep it in the bloodline. Who was talking last time we did a study talking about, I think it might have been D, talking about the children, whether they know it or not, tend to pursue traits that their parents did or hobbies. You know, so like if you weren't around your mom much, and then you found out that she liked building and flying kites, and you had been building and flying kites for like 10 years without knowing that your mom did it, that would be kind of an interesting connection.
Cell memory.
I wonder if that goes to grandparents too.
Cell memory, like it's already in your genes. You know what I mean?
Right.
My grandfather was a barber. My daughter's cuts hair and that stuff. And she did it since she was a little tiny kid. Was always doing the hair of all the dolls and the people. And
Right.
she was just born to it. And then my other kid, I mean, one of my grandfathers was a farmer. And the other child is like farmer. It's weird. Anyway.
Oh, come on. I think I would not get myself mixed up with you. No, but it is true that, you know, of course I knew about his flying in the Air Force, but then I went into being a machinist and shooting. And then afterwards found out he was on the college shooting team and worked his way through college being a machinist. So it's kind of strange.
Wow.
My mom's a respiratory therapist.
Just breathe, Landon. Just breathe.
Yeah, just breathe.
Oh, Margaret.
Anybody got something else from 3? Now they get numbered from birth.
Mm-hmm.
The Levites do. And then what is it? They serve in the sanctuary till they're 60? Or is that just the priests?
Oh, there are rules coming up about that.
We're coming up.
Or was it in Leviticus?
That might have been in Leviticus.
It might have been there, yeah. I'll have to look back.
Yep, it's got to be part of the genes. No. There's a documentary on Cuban musicians called the Sierra Blanca Music Club or something like that. I forget what it is. Anyways, they're interviewing one of them, and this one guy was from a family of violinists. And he said, when I was young, I wanted to learn how to play the piano. But my father said no. And that's not the way things were then, so I learned how to play the violin. Yeah. Just, I don't know, I thought it was kind of funny the way that worked out. Oh, goodness. Yes. Oops. That is correct.
Okay, well, we do have some ages and stuff and that coming up in chapter 4.
All right.
Just taking over for Gwen for just a slight minute.
Right. Wonder where Gwen is. Are you hoarding paper towels? Is that above your head there, Lynn?
I just bought those yesterday. Don't even go there with me. I had plenty.
Oh, goodness. Yep. So, all right. Anybody got anything? Spit it out in the chat. Spit it out.
Well, do you think because the firstborn of the cattle was also devoted to him, does that necessarily mean for sacrifice? I mean, the Levites aren't being sacrificed after they're dedicated.
Right. No, I think it was because if you look back at that, I always got the impression it was so that the priests and the Levites could have milk and cheese, and it was a gift or an offering. It was an offering to God, but it wasn't listed as a sacrifice like a sin offering or a trespass offering or what else? What else was there? Free will offering. Right.
Yeah, they were supposed to bring that to the priest.
Yep, the firstborn.
They provided but I'm saying when they did their sin offering, they would bring.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Word.
She's saying Numbers 116. What are you going back, Gwen? Are you Sabbath? Okay. All right. Sorry, Jasmine. Yogurt. Isn't that how they spell it in the Middle East? Yogurt. That cat's a cool looking cat. Look at that guy.
Confident.
Yep. Looks smart. He's all inquisitive.
My dogs keep trying to play with the neighbor's cat, but I don't think they're down for it.
Right? You know, his cat beat up all three of the neighbor's dogs.
Oh, they're really
Tried to beat up the neighbor. Interesting. All right.
I'm sure if I let my cat out, he would be like that.
Yep. All right. Let's let these people go on their merry Sabbath day to rest and eat frozen pizza or warm ice cream, whatever they want to do. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will read again in 2 days in the evening. And we'll continue on with the book of Numbers. All right. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Landon. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Matt. Everybody, love you all. And we will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.